Warning, Hebrews Toys Reviews is not intended for children. It is for adult collectors and the people over the age of 18. Hello everybody, Hebrews77 here, and welcome to Hebrews Toy Reviews. Today we will talk about the tale of the two cats' lairs. Right here is my original 1986 THUNDERCATS CAT'S LAIR. This is the miniature version. However, there was another larger, much better version, but this was the version I got as a kid. We will be talking about that and a whole lot more on today's Hebrews Toy Reviews. First, a little quick history of Thundercats for those of you that don't know. Thundercats is an American animated television series based on characters created by Theodore Ted Wolfe, also called Tobin Wolfe, that was produced by Rake & Bass. Yes, Rake & Bass Productions, the same guys who created such Christmas shows as Frosty the Snowman and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. It was produced and then distributed in 1985 and ran until 1989. There was a lot of toys developed on this series. There were 7¼ inch figures as well as little miniature figures. Now what you have to remember is back in those days, miniatures weren't really even a thing yet. We're talking about 1985 here. Miniatures didn't really start getting popular until about the early 2000s. There were miniature stuff back then, but not as well as it's done today. Now you see like Masters of the Universe or G.I. Joe, or there's all kinds of miniature stuff. But back then it wasn't as common. So, oh yeah, and Star Wars as well. But back then it wasn't as common. And so imagine my surprise when I'm a little child and I unwrap the Christmas gift and I come across this as opposed to this. Produced by LJN, which they produced other Thundercats toys, which I will do in another show for another time. This Cat's Lair was massive. It had it all. It had the paws that opened up. It had the beaming light that shined. Thunder, thunder, Thundercats, ho! Which I will get to here in a minute. It had cannons on top of its feet. It had cannons underneath the feet. The cannons were in there when you lifted up. This toy was awesome. This was the toy that I was expecting. However, what I ended up with was this. So you can see the total confusion that I received as a kid. However, being a kid in the 80s, you didn't really complain about stuff. You were grateful for what you got. And, it was still Thundercats. And when I got this out of the box, yes, I was disappointed at first. But then, this toy, miniature as it was, I still got a lot of playtime out of it. Now I will go into further details about it after this clip. Let's take a look at the toy itself. This is the toy that I ended up with. On the box it showed at the feet here at the bottom, this part would open up and you could store your miniature Thundercats in there. But it wasn't the toy that I ended up with. I remember very, very, very well at Christmas that I got this toy. I opened up the wrapping paper. I saw the THUNDERCATS Cat's Lair. I was very excited. And then I pulled this out of the box, and well, it wasn't exactly what I expected. This is not the Cat's Lair that I was looking for. Here's a size comparison. You can see my disappointment as a child. As here is Tigra, full size Tigra, has to duck to enter the doorway there, and he does not fit in the doorway, as you can see. Here on the inside of Cat's Lair, the miniature, they were just stickers that were on the wall. You had the jail cell, you had this elevator that you would stand the figure on and it would go up and down. You had these stairways here, which I don't know why they would have an elevator and stairways. I guess so you could take your elevator all the way up here to sort of match up with these stickers at the very top. And of course, you had the jail cell, which the normal size THUNDERCATS did not fit the jail cell, but I always tried to stuff them in there. So you can definitely see my disappointment. Now you could sort of play with the THUNDERCATS inside the miniature Cat's Lair, but here's what I would do. I took what was a disadvantage and turned it into an advantage. Back in 1986, I did not own a G.I. Joe headquarters of any kind, so I would take play sets like Cat's Lair, and as you can see, the perfect size for Cat's Lair is G.I. Joe. He could go up the stairs. He could fit in the door. He'd still have to duck a little bit. On the elevator. He fit on the elevator, which would go to the top, which would go to the jail cell, and he would fit up here, and he would ultimately fit jail cell. Get in there! Now imagine if he were a Cobra enemy. That would come in handy. So, along with Cat's Lair, I used things like Castle Grayskull, which were also the perfect size of the Joes, and I could fit a lot of G.I. Joes inside Castle Grayskull. Split side the fence, I would use Snake Mountain as Cobra's base, because I didn't have that either. When I was a kid, another really cool feature on this Cat's Lair was this. This was a piece of plastic, but it wasn't just any ordinary plastic. It was the symbol that was on the sword, and also the THUNDERCATS light. Now I will demonstrate. If you had yourself a dark room and a flashlight, of course we didn't have LED lights at the time, so it was always kind of janky. But you took the flashlight and put it through the THUNDERCATS symbol, and voila! On the wall it was always thunder, thunder, THUNDERCATS, ho! I gotta say something here. With the LED lighting, it doesn't shine or look quite as cool as it did with the old flashlights, but you can definitely see the THUNDERCATS symbol, or you could barely see it. Let me pull back a little bit. Let's see. Thunder! 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 THUNDERCATS! Ho! Do 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 do. Well, anyway. If anything, it made a really cool red light. I guess old technology sometimes truly is the best. Well, there you have it, the tale of the two cats' lairs. Now, I never did get the big Cat's Lair, the original Cat's Lair that came with that. And I'm sure it had a shining light as well, but I gotta be honest with you, I had a lot of fun with this toy as a child, and I don't think I would have it any other way. I mean, this was the cheaper version. This was the version my grandparents could afford at the time. And, you know, even though initially I was kind of disappointed, it turned out I had hours and hours of fun, and I had to use more of my imagination. With that being said, this Cat's Lair, to me at least, is the definitive Cat's Lair. Until next time, this has been Hebro77 saying, Thunder, 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 Thundercats, ho! See you next time. Really? But that is the tagline. Alright. And remember, knowing isn't just half the battle, it's the whole damn war. See you next time.
Thunder, 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 thunder.
Turn me!
THUNDERCATS CAT'S LAIR. Will Cat's Lair's electronic laser beam destroy the mutant vehicle?
Laser!
Direct laser hit. Cat's Lair's doors are blown open.
Oh! Back! Get him! Fire! Retreat!
Cat's Lair defeats the mutant vehicle. Cat's Lair, complete with mutant vehicle. Figure sold separately from LJN.